Hello students, today we are going to learn about Navier-Stokes equation of fluid mechanics, also called as momentum equation or Navier-Stokes momentum equation. So before proceeding, I will like to show you my slides so that you will judge that you are going to learn by this video or not. Okay, so without wasting time, coming to the topic. Okay, so first of all, what is Navier-Stokes equation? It is simple, a force balance equation in a fluid flow. Suppose some fluid is flowing and we are taking an elemental part. Then what is the force balance? By the help of that force balance, the Navier-Stokes equation is derived. Okay. Now, in Navier-Stokes equation derivation, it is believed that total force acting on a fluid element, which is inside the fluid flow, is equal to the pressure force, the force applied due to pressure, shear force, the force applied due to shear stress, and any other force. It can be body force, also called as body force, or gravitational force. Okay, so these three types of forces acts on an elemental part of fluid, and by the help of that we derive the Navier-Stokes equation. So before proceeding, there are some prerequisites. You must keep these things in your mind. First of all, the shear stress in a fluid flow, in case it is moving in direction of x, shear stress equals to mu du upon dy. This is also called as Newton's law of viscosity. Here u is the velocity in x direction and y is y direction, like this. Okay, tau is the shear stress, mu is the coefficient of viscosity. Okay, and u already I told. Second thing you must keep in your mind, that if there is a function in which the x, some variable x, depends on two variables y and z, x is a function of y and z, then dx equals to del x by del y into dy plus del x by del z into dz. This is called as total differential of multivariable system. Now you know this thing: density equals to mass upon volume, pressure equals to force upon area, shear stress equals to shear force upon area, etc. Now further we are going to derive the Navier-Stokes equation in one dimension, that is in x direction. Okay, imagine that this is deep inside ocean and this is water contained, and I am considering a water cube here, and these are the length, breadth and height of this cube, and this is the face area. And we know this thing that for a cube all the faces will have same area. I have written over here yellow colored A. This is the face area. Okay. And I will take a particular case in which this water cube moves in positive direction of X. Now I have took out this cube system out of that animation. Okay. So this is our cube inside some liquid and it is moving in positive direction of X. Okay. Now suppose that on the top surface of this cube, the shear stress is tau 2, which is in positive direction of x, and at the bottom surface, the shear stress is tau 1. Okay. Now to move this cube in positive direction of x, the tau 2 has to be greater than tau 1. So in case we want to find out the force, we know this thing that force equals to shear stress into area. A is the area of each face of this cube. Then this will be the total force due to shear stress on this cube. So A into tau 2 minus A into tau 1, A outside, tau 2 minus tau 1. So tau 2 is greater than tau 1 over here. So this will move the cube in positive direction of x. Okay. Now, suppose that to this face of this cube, from right to left, the pressure applied is P2, and to the opposite face, the pressure applied is P1, and both are in line of x direction. Okay. So definitely if this cube needs to move in positive direction of x, then P1 has to be greater than P2. Okay, so in case we want to convert these pressures into forces, then we know this thing that force is equals to pressure into area, and A is the area of each face of this cube. So this is the force applied due to pressure. So area into P1 minus P2 inside the bracket, reason being P1 is greater than P2. So in I can rearrange this right hand side, doing P2 minus P1 inside the bracket, so minus will be outside. So this is the force applied due to pressure. Now suppose some other external force is also acting on this water cube, and which is enhancing the motion in x direction. So that also I am considering. Okay, so all these three forces are acting on this cube. So what will be the force balance? Simple. Shear force plus pressure force plus external force equals to mass into acceleration of this cube. M is the mass of the cube. Okay, now furthermore, this shear force we already know this much, pressure force this much already we have derived. Okay, and external written. Now this mass can be written as density into volume of this cube. Density of liquid into volume of this cube V. Okay. So this V can go to the denominator of each term of this right hand side written. Okay. Now this volume can be written as area of face of this cube, any face area into the perpendicular side length. Any face area you take. Suppose I am taking this A, then A into B, and if this face I am taking, then A into L, like this. Okay. So in place of this volume, I can write what? Area into H. So written. Similarly, for this volume, I can write area of this space into L. Okay. And here V written. Okay. Now I can cancel out this A. So ultimately, I will get this rho A equals to tau 2 minus tau 1 upon H minus P2 minus P1 upon L plus F external upon V. This is Navier's Stokes equation, but in non-differential form, and this is in one dimension. It is in postulation of X. Only one dimension we are taking. Now, furthermore, in case we want differential form, so considering this cube to be of very small size, del x, del y, del z are the dimensions. In that case, this h can be written as dy because it is in direction of y. Okay, so written dy, and this l, it is in direction of x, so written dx. Okay, so over here, this F external force can be written as mg, that is gravitational force. Reason being, normally this external force is gravitational force. Okay, so it can be of any type, but in general, it is taken as gravitational force that is acting on the fluid element. And mass upon volume is density. So rho A equals to d tau upon dy minus dp upon dx plus mg upon v. Furthermore, we know this thing that this tau, shear stress by Newton's law of viscosity, is given by mu du upon dy. In case the shear stress is applied in direction of x, shear stresses, okay, and then the shear stress is given by this Newton's law of viscosity. Now this mu will come outside, so this will give mu d square u upon dy square minus dp by dx plus rho g. Okay. Now to the left hand side, we will focus on this A acceleration. Okay. So let's do that. So we know this thing that acceleration equals to rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Okay. But here we will take the most general case, that is the velocity of this cube is depending on position as well as time. We are taking the general case. Not only on time it is depending. Suppose it is depending on position of x as well as time. So u is a function of x and t. In that case, I already told in my second slide, we can write it like this: du equals to del u by del t into dt plus del u by del x into dx. Okay. Now, in case both the sides are divided by dt, I will get du by dt equals to del u by del t because this dt will be cancelled out, and du by dx into dx by dt. Now, this dx by dt is u itself written over here. So, ultimately, this entire is equals to acceleration. Reason being that du by dt is acceleration. So, this is A, this is called as total acceleration of this elemental cube. Okay, so A equals to del u by del t plus del u by del x into u. So write this in place of A. So ultimately I will get this. This is the Navier-Stokes equation in one dimension, that is in x direction. Okay, now in case we want to write this in three dimensions, then we have to perform the analysis on this cube in y as well as z direction also. So the only change will be like this: we will perform this analysis in all the dimensions. So only change in this equation will be the y and z terms will also be there. So in that case, in place of this del u by del t, we will use resultant velocity del c by del t. And here there is only del u by del x. There will be, you see over here, del v by del y. This v is a velocity in y direction, w velocity in z direction. Okay. In case of one dimension, only del u by del x was there, u into del u by del x, here v into del v by del y plus w into del w del z. And for this case, inside this bracket, whose coefficient is mu, there will be del square v by del x square. Compare only del square u by del y square. Now del square v by del x square plus del square w by del z square minus Here only del dp by dx. There will be del p by del x, del p by del y, del p by del z. Okay. So this is the complete equation Navier-Stokes. In short, it is written like this. Okay. So hope by this small lecture you would have learned about Navier-Stokes equation. Thank you.